Meanwhile, I'm on board with Basil, who's lost a bit of ground to Satwik right now. Oh, and Basil has a huge moment coming out of that turn there, but he keeps the car under control, losing a bit of time. Satwik also, I mean, Pratham is not pulled away that much either right now. The entire field is bunched up till Harsh. Then we have Pratham, I mean, Raman, who's a little further behind and easy level behind him. Yep, so we have Harsh who's closing up on Shrikant who's closing up on Jishnu who's closing up on Basil. Yep. So we have Jishnu who's here. He's trying still. I mean, they're all pretty much close. Basil lost a bit of ground over there to Sathik, about 1.4 seconds. He's probably struggling on those tires a little more now. Jishnu is also 1.1 seconds behind. So I think we have chips back, and did Shrikant just brush the wall there? And Jishnu's also made a mistake. So Shrikant right on the back. We have Archit in easy level bot trading positions again. All this is just allowing Charles to get back into the race right now. Caesar following close behind as well. Oh, is that a lockup from easy level bot? Or is that just spectator glitch?
I'm here. I should be able to. Let me just check that I'm audible.
Yep, just let me know about that. And in the meanwhile, we have Shrikant who's closing in on Jishnu right now.
Yes, I'm audible. There was something up with the audio training setting from the THTRL.
Oh, and Harsh has a huge moment there. He saves the car. His heart would have stopped beating there. Meanwhile, Shrikant is haggling Jishnu right now for that place. One small mistake from Jishnu will cost him this place right now, and he's already losing sight to Basil. The car Merc going far away. Shrikant chasing Jishnu down. Meanwhile, Basil's also not left Satwik to himself. Pratham checking out a little bit on the front right now, but the story coming here with Shrikant so close to Jishnu. Will he go for a move here, or will he just back off? I think he's going to back out of it. Yes, he does. Oh, and they touch. Shrikant touches Jishnu. Oh, and Jishnu has a huge moment.
Yep, and he has a nice 360 though. That is full marks for that, but his tires won't be appreciating those marks whatsoever.
Yeah, all this has put Harsh right on the tail of the...
Oh, there's a massive crash for the back. Two cars are out, and that's a VSC. Easy level and Archit keep together approaching turn 12, and that's a pretty major crash. That's gonna put Wicked Vicky and TPK back into the race though. I just want to ask you, Yash, did you notice a bit of a desync at any point in time?
A desync? I don't think so. I'm not sure about that.
Alright, because when I joined the session again, I had a bit of a desync, and Pratham went level with the safety car and just overtaken it. That's going to let people, because it's been elevated to a full course safety car. We will now be seeing the drivers have to go around the track one more time. Oh, Harsh is lagging massively, and safety car.
Yeah, I think it's Harsh who is lagging.
Is it still showing VSC for you, Yash?
Yep, it is showing VSC for me.
The safety car is out on track. And there you go.
No, just yeah, it got elevated to a safety car now. Are you in the session, Chips?
Yes, I am. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, why there's a desync on my end, but everybody else is fine. That's a good thing. I believe nobody else should have it. Well, I keep getting this migrating host error message on my screen regularly appear, but that's obviously a bug. Nobody else is struggling.
Yeah, I'm right here, so I'm the
Yeah,
host.
exactly, and I don't see anybody visibly struggling. Harsh, maybe he is having a few internet issues from Canada. So apart from that, I see everybody else is quite smooth. And as I speak of Harsh, he is trying to slide his car around, drift his car around. He will. Stars won't like that, but I believe everybody is going to box. Are they? The rain is. I think the rain is gone. Yes, so we might see
Yeah, it is
guys.
gone. One of the Red Bull stays out. Satvik stays out. Basil
Everybody
stays
stays
out.
out. Only
Shrikant
Raman and
stays
Pratham are
out.
pitting.
It's going to be a
Only
make or
Raman and
break for
Pratham are
them.
pit. Yeah, so the gambling on the rain disappearing and the track drying out fast enough.
Might be a good time
Uh,
for TBK to pit because he has nothing to lose at this point of time.
and they're both on mediums. They're both on mediums, Pratham and Raman. Let's have a look at how they fare.
So going on board with Pratham, he has absolutely no grip there.
Yeah, obviously, but I think the track's very shiny and it's very damp. We should see the track dry out soon.
Oh, well, just look at the spray coming off that Red Bull right
If you go
now.
on board with Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, wow, that's an amazing combination.
Yeah,
I
it
think you'll be
really
able to
is.
see how much Raman is struggling and how well Charles is able to fare. Wicked Vicky has boxed and TBK has stayed out on
Well,
those intermediate
it's
tires.
Shah trying to warm up his tire, showing out that he has the grip over here, whereas Ramin and Pratham are just tiptoeing their way through the circuit right now.
And we will have one more lap of the safety car at the very least. Will the
I
track
don't think they
dry
get
out in time?
I don't think they're able to go full throttle yet. Although
They
they
aren't
should
because
be catching the safety
Pratham
car
is
now.
Pratham is going full throttle. Raman is a bit more hesitant, I'll say, to push the
Yeah,
power
Ramin
on.
is also behind Pratham. So yeah, but then Pratham, let's see this corner how he takes it now. No, he is drastically slow here.
And Charles has to go slow because he doesn't have an option. Smith, I believe, is back in the session. Smith, I think, was decent at the restart. Not sure about that. TBK has stayed out. Let's have a look at TBK's line through there because TBK's line will reveal all. So they're just being a bit careful. They don't want to do a Grosjean behind the safety car. Nobody wants to, obviously. But I think at this point, if you're Pratham and Raman and even Wicked Vicky, just commit to the strategy and stay out. If you box, you will fall to the back of the field. And at least with this, they
Nobody
won't
else
have to pit again.
boxes.
And nobody would box. It's the conditions are not appropriate to box right now.
Let's see
Look
if
at the
TBK
amount of
box.
spray.
TBK also doesn't box.
No, look at the amount of spray. Yes, there's no way they should be boxing at this point in time.
Noble Guard is saying it's kind of stupid to pit now. He should have stayed out. But sometimes spectator, sorry, that comment just went. But I think what he meant was that it's a little stupid. But sometimes the
Wicked Vicky is boxing.
spectator,
Wicked Vicky is boxing for some reason. Once
he was
again,
already on the
so
mediums.
yeah, he was on the mediums. He went from intermediates to mediums, but I'm not sure what's going on here with him. What is strategy? What he's trying to
He's
play
going
at?
back onto the inters. That's
Just commit
just
to the strategy at this point. Why would you pit an extra time? He's broken his front wing. That's why he's boxing. All right. So that's Wicked Vicky having a bit of a torrid time, and there you go. Codemaster not being able to code a very simple pit exit animation into the game for the multiplayer mode. And obviously, that's understandable. Wicked Vicky will take a long time to catch up to the field, but I still think that the safety car will be in this lap, Yash. Do you?
It should be. Yeah, it should be by the time they reach. Meanwhile, Pratham and my eyes are on Pratham and Raman here because it's really a make or break right now, and they have committed to the slick tires in the wet conditions. It's visibly stopped raining, but it's visibly not
Honestly,
drying out at all.
yeah, exactly. Just wanted to say that usually every time we've seen
But you see,
rainfall,
there are tire marks coming, chips, so that should be a good sign for them.
although there were tire
Uh,
marks right from the moment they left the left the pit lane. So I don't necessarily see that as a marker of what we can expect
The
here.
safety car may not be in this lap because Wicket Wiki has a long time to catch, but it should be out for one more lap.
Yeah. Weekend Wiki is a long way back, although we do know Codemasters, they are known for their very
No, the car has
aptly
gone past the
timed.
pit exit, so
Yeah.
unless he does a
And
U-turn, he can't come back into the
there's
pits.
still a fair amount of spray, Yash. I don't think that, although the spray, the intensity is reducing, I think that this might just be one lap of struggle for Pratham and Raman, and then from the next lap, it should be sunny skies, pretty
Yeah,
much.
you're right. But then, another thing is that, uh, in real life, when it's wet conditions, it stopped raining behind the safety car, the water takes time to go off because the cars are not going at full speed. But I don't know if that's programmed into the game. That probably when the cars do start running at full speed, the track temperature would change and it will start drying out, and the increased number of spray also should displace more water. I actually don't know if that works in the game, but you never know with Cody's what works and what doesn't work.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. That's simply how it is.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's shit.
Yes, absolutely. That's the best way to describe Codemasters games.
Oh, and Basil just driving off the track on the grass to see if there's more grip there.
So Pratham took a very big gamble, I'll say, and nobody else was willing to take that gamble.
I probably see so much confidence in the Red Bull there with that much level of downforce that he'll treat the mediums
He
also as
still
intense.
has to, he still has to get to the end of the race in one piece, and
You
in
know that
first
the Red
position.
Bull, you know that the Red Bull missing a couple of pieces on its wing also is quite powerful of a car.
Yeah, honestly, Hungary 2021 comes to mind immediately. That's
Half of the car was missing there.
yeah, and he still drove the P9 like a champ. Smith and TBK are very close. This is going to be a feisty battle. TBK already trying to side by side level with Smith, trying to know that he's
So
letting
on
him
board
know
with
right up.
Basil right now to see when Satvik goes. Satvik not particularly slowing down. He's usually we see that the pack is getting bunched up quite a bit. It is a little bit of inexperience of starting from Satvik. Oh, he breaks very erratically there.
And we have Harsh weaving around. Shrikant not really weaving around. Satvik
And
trying to go
Satvik,
for
is
the
he
power down.
gone? Yeah, he's gone. He made a huge slide and Basil goes through before the start line. I'm not sure that is allowed, but either way, we carry on. Shrikant gets past, but Shrikant lets.
And Basil has to let him by, and there's gonna be chaos up front. There's gonna be like four cars. I think Shrikant and Basil make slight contact. This is gonna open up the door for Jishnu to make a move on Basil. Around the outside he goes a bit off track, and they make slight contact. Caesar is trying to get in on the action. He's on the extreme left side of the track, coming up to turn 3. They all stay in one piece somehow, but that restart was hectic, chaotic. Satvik dropped the ball, and because they
And let's see
overtook
what
him before he
Pratham, he is struggling. Yes, he is struggling. The Inters are so much more powerful right now, but how long
Although,
for?
although Raman has fallen to the back, Pratham is still there. Look at the train behind him. Charles Smith, TBK, wicked,
Oh, and
wicked
he
as
had a
well.
huge moment there. Oh, the mediums are just not it. But
And
they have to
TBK,
fight it out now. They have absolutely no option but
the
to
two
do so.
Ferraris are going for it. I think Charles and Smith are going to go for it. TBK and Wicked Vicky are going to go for it. They're so close as they go through the turn 9 then chicane. And they're still up front though. Shrikant and Jishnu. Is it going to be round 2, part 2? They make slight contact. Shrikant hits Jishnu once again. That's going to be a fun bit of exchange of messages later on in the paddock channel. Basil on the back of Jishnu, on the back of Shrikant, my apologies, and going
Smith,
for a dive down the inside at the penultimate corner, forces Shrikant into making a mistake. Shrikant onto the grass like Seb Vettel in 2016. Shrikant struggling to put the power down, and he's been overtaken by Caesar and might be overtaken by Charles as well. No, Charles makes slight contact with the rear left of the Aston Martin. Smith might get him as well. Smith down the inside of the Aston Martin. That is a horrid last section of corners for Shrikant, although I think he'll stay ahead of Smith. Yes, he will, but he gets a penalty, so that's still a very horrid final few
TBK
corners.
gets past Smith and now he is definitely going to terrorize Shrikant here.
Oh, I think
And
he hit the
Shrikant,
wall.
he runs into him.
Shrikant should have left him a bit more space. This TBK was entitled to a bit more space. Smith going off track, and he will get those multiple penalties for going off at that corner. I don't understand why
Shrikant is
Kohli.
absolutely falling right now through the roof. I don't know if he has
Shrikant's
damage or what,
flustered.
but
He's flustered. He's flustered. Smith picked up a 6 second for no reason, and he's bent it.
Smith has been.
Oh,
Oh no, that's another safety car.
Yeah, that is another safety car, although the field is much more closely knit this time around. Smith went off at that corner, I think it's turn 4. Yeah, turn 4. If you go off there, no matter if it's your first off track excursion, you will pick up at least 6 or maybe even 9 seconds of penalties. And I think that just flustered Smith a bit, and he has become the third retiree of
What
this
do you think the
race.
cars are going to do now, Chips?
Satvik is in the most disadvantageous position here because he can't do anything other than what he feels is right. And what he feels right may not necessarily be the right call.
Satvik stays
Satvik
out,
stays out. Jishnu
but
is going
Jishnu
to box.
boxes.
Basil stays out. I don't think anybody else is boxing. Pratham gets a drive through. That's going to add to his woes. And Shrikant is boxing. This is not going to pan out very well for him, Pratham. Because why has he just gone and done that to himself? I think Satvik has a 3 second. Satvik gets a drive through as well. Oh, did you notice Satvik pick up a drive through?
No, I didn't. I just
I
heard you
noticed
say.
Pratham pick up a drive through. So both Red Bull cars, there you go, Yash. This is gonna be one tall mountain to climb. They may be in a Red Bull, but they have to overcome a drive through and get through a line of very, very fast drivers towards the end of the race if they want to still win the race. Harsh, after struggling immensely to keep the Williams pointing in a straight line, is still in somehow in P2. He has Basil right behind him though, so Basil is going to give him a bit of a
Basil
hard
will
time.
be charging. Basil's out on mission, especially knowing that he's not driven a race for a very long time due to his ban in a certain other league. He's probably going to be all elbows out here.
And behind him is Caesar.
Who's also going to
Caesar
be all
also,
elbows out with what's happened in the last race to him.
yeah. Basil obviously very cross about the restart there. What happened in the restart? Satvik will be more careful, I'm sure, this time around. Uh, just look, Yash, the spray has reduced, the intensity has reduced drastically.
But it's not dry. It's not dry,
It's
and the
not
tire
dry,
marks are not there anymore. So yeah, that is dry. Chips, you're right. If the
exactly.
tire marks are not there, it is dry. It's drying
And
out at least.
the track is not as shiny as it was a few laps ago. So I think that the laying down the rubber on track actually works in the game the way it's supposed to, and safety car could be out for another lap, or will it come in right now? It will stay out for one more
It
lap.
is out
Satvik
Satwik
is locked in.
boxes. I hope he is not there to serve the drive-through because that doesn't apply under the safety car.
Yeah, that is. I think Satvik is slightly experienced. The Red Bull just to just
He goes on to the soft
gone
tires.
hard on the pit lane. Yeah, only car to go on the softs in this race at the moment. Shrikant
What's
has
happening
gone
here?
on to a new sort of intermediates.
And he's
Do you not rather
downshifting.
stay out on the intermediates that you're on? Because
Probably had damage.
the track is really not drying out at the rate which we expected to. We have seen it's raining one moment and then within about 2 sectors it's absolutely bone dry from intermediate conditions. That's obviously not realistic, but that's Codemasters in a nutshell for you. They tend to do that. I think we should see the safety car in this lap, Yash. We
Yep,
have a
we
few,
should, because we have Satvik already at the back of the pack on the soft tires. Um,
and I think at this point in time, Shrikant is the only driver with a penalty.
yeah,
Coming in
I
now.
think the only car on track who has confidence in the track conditions is the safety car with the way it's charging down there.
Are you saying that because it's a Mercedes safety car?
Yeah, definitely, because I mean,
Harsh almost running into the back of that Mercedes safety car.
to prove that he
Getting a bit
probably
too
has more grip than the car
yeah,
right now.
more
Safety car
confident.
is in this lap. The lights are out, and Harsh will control the field. Let's see.
I think this is going to be a very good opportunity for Caesar. Caesar could do really well in these
It really
conditions.
is going to be, and it's going to be how Basil, how closely Basil sticks to Harsh also over here.
Although I think Charles on those slightly fresher tires will have the advantage, at least initially, compared to Caesar.
Oh, and
Basil
Basil there, so close. Caesar keeping his distance, warming up his tires by himself.
just 11
I,
runners left, but there's still chaos.
5 second
Raman and
penalty.
Pratham. Why would you do that to yourself? Harsh tentative, Basil tentative as a result. Harsh still tentative. Harsh might bolt sometime around now. He's still gonna go tentative to the line. He should weave around a little bit to get temperature, but he's bolted. That's a good restart. Caesar gets a very good restart as well, but Charles is right there. Around the outside, he might go for a late breaking move. He does not.
And the
But
McLaren on
that
the
is
inside of
TBK with a brilliant double overtake at turn one with cold tires as well, mind you, because the tires, nobody's tires are warmed up at this point in time. That's a very opportunistic and great move by TBK.
Okay,
Charles
oh!
going for an almighty send and gets a penalty, understandably so. He was not making that corner whatsoever, and he gets many more penalties, and he gets even more penalties. Penalties galore for Charles Leclerc, who is now down in P10 because of that one mistake that he made.
TBK is absolutely on the back of Basil. You were right. Those new tires are on TBK's car. I mean, I don't know if TBK has the new tires though.
He does. He has brand new tires. Well, newer tires than Basil at least. They're 5 laps fresher.
Look at
and going towards the turn 9 and chicane, TBK will stay behind Basil because he knows he'll get a good exit. Harsh is struggling. Basil got a better run though, and Basil might get the movement around the outside approaching turn 12. The Dorito curve. Harsh does have the inside line though. He will force his way ahead, stay ahead.
Basil
TBK
with a switchback. Can he keep it? Can he keep it there? And he does. TBK. Oh, they make
contact. And wicket he's lost his wing. TBK has lost his wing. That could be yet another safety car. There you go. Welcome back, Burn My Lander. We didn't miss you. But
and who's Pratham stays. Pratham is right back into this. I mean, he does have to serve a drive-through.
Yeah, but this is getting very complicated and confusing. I saw many penalties here.
If the track wasn't going to dry up until the end of the race, with this, I think it's definitely going to. And he goes almost past the safety car.
That would have been an instant disqualification for him. But yeah, the entire field is on dry tires now. TBK has gone on to the hard tires. Did he not have a set of mediums left? Let me just check that real quick. So TBK has boxed onto a set of mediums and he has boxed onto a set of hards right now. So I'm not sure what.
As the current standing chips, Jishnu's on the mediums without any penalties. Around him, everyone with a penalty. Harsh, the closest one to him, and the other Williams who's without a penalty and right there. So Williams boys looking quite strong here. So does Basil. Basil being in the Merc should have the stronger car, so probably he might have an advantage. And chips, just look at that. The track is dry.
The track is completely dry now. That's wow. That's just how it should be, shouldn't it? Track's absolutely damp and track's absolutely dry. It's over just goes over lap. That's just how it goes in Codemasters land.
I mean, Pratham would be wishing if he did serve his penalty drive-through in the previous lap, he could have been quite high on the grid right now.
I was expecting him to. Neither Red Bull has served the drive-through.
I mean, he actually should have, because you know it's he would have had an advantage in the dry track now, with the where he wouldn't have had to box. He could have been pumping in the lap times when everyone else is boxing. He could have taken his drive-through when it was wet, when he was going to be arguably slower than the rest.
Had he boxed, he would have come out around where Raman's boxing again, Satvik is boxing, and that's 2 cars in the box, and so is Charles.
Raman will get rid of his 5 seconds, so that's pretty.
Charles has 12 seconds of penalties, out of which I believe 9 might be able to be removed for him. Charles is boxing onto a set of medium tires. That is sensible from him.
TBK the McLaren that just held
TBK has to stack behind the guy he called a purple chick yesterday. TBK onto a set of fresh medium tires. That's a smart strategy by him there. He has the pace. We saw how committed and how bold he was on those intermediate tires. I'm sure he can definitely do something similar.
But was that because he loaded up the wet setup? And maybe that is why he was struggling initially in qualifying.
Not really. He got his tires warmed up. The track was still damp at that point.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So what if he
was
did?
Drying.
But yeah, it was definitely wetter than what it is right now. So maybe that wet setup and a high wing or a high suspension was giving him the benefit there. which might not be the case in the drive. But let's see what he does now. It's all up to his driving. As Hushraf said, TVK does like it hard.
I'm not sure about that. I think I'll bet on TBK to put in a very good performance here. He just needs to be a little more patient than he is. That'll really see him do wonders. And the safety car's in this
Safety
lap.
car is in.
So, Pratham
Jishnu
has to
right
serve a
away
drive.
goes on the right of the track, picking up all the marbles, which he gets rid of, but I don't know why he did that.
I think that's just to avoid running into the back of the Red Bull there, because it's very easy to run into the back of another car, especially in safety car conditions. We've seen that in the past as well.
Oh, look at
Harsh
the pack. Harsh is
weaving around
completely
like
on it
crazy.
to heat up the tires. Meanwhile, Jishnu is cool like Kimi right now, just making sure that Pratham doesn't get
But
away.
if you're Pratham, would you box right now, right away?
I don't think so. He
Because
has
that
about
could
2 laps.
that could hand the lead to no, because he has already served. I think he's already completed one of those laps, so he'll have to box next lap anyhow. So he may as well go into the box now and then let Jishnu lead the way, but he does not do that. He's gone for it. He's gone for it. That's a good restart by him. Jishnu dumping his battery. So is Harsh. So is Pratham as well. Basil gets a bit further back. Basil's a bit further back. Wicked Vicky is a long way back on Shrikant. Shrikant misses his braking point and his apex, and he almost loses the rear end there. Further back, I saw a bit of a puff of smoke there. Further back, somebody's
Harsh
locked
going
up.
on to move for no, and Jishnu outbreaks himself.
Basil runs into the back of Harsh and trying to make a move around the outside of turn 4 does not work out, and Basil keeps his position as he is and catches a bit of grass on his tire. He should look to make a move down this next section, where this is where Harsh really struggles, and there you go. Basil with a good run. Harsh does not get a very good run. Around the outside attempts to go Basil, but he can't. Further back, I see Wicked Vicky and Shrikant are very, very close. Harsh and Basil are very, very close. Who do we follow? I think we'll follow Harsh and Jishnu and Basil for now. Basil kisses the wall there at the entry of 9 and at the exit of 10. Harsh gets a very poor run. This might open up the door for Basil, Around the outside, he might go at the Dorito curve braking zone, and he will go for the inside. He'll go for the switchback. He might even get it. There's some wheel banging. There's some more wheel banging, I think, as they go towards the penultimate corner here. And Shrikant is very close to running into the back of the Merc there. I think there might have been a slight bit of contact as well. Harsh has no grip whatsoever. Shrikant and Basil mid side contact. Pratham in the pit lane, understandably so. We shall follow this little battle here. Shrikant trying to go around the outside. I think Basil has it covered. And Shrikant misses his breaking point. He's on the grass, and this will open up the door for Wicked Vicky to make a move, and that's a nice, neat, opportunistic move there. Caesar almost wiping out Shrikant there with the way that might have been a lag spike. I'm not sure what's happened there, but he does go for a dive.
Tap, yeah.
He does go for a dive, but then Shrikant does hold the position for now. So Caesar is, sorry, I think that's a bit of a lag from Caesar, and I don't think he came into turn 2 that hot. He would have just lost the rear end a little bit, not as much as it looked to be on my screen. But he does have a good run on Shrikant. He might deploy some battery down this little straight here, and there's no DRS obviously for one more lap, is it? For this lap rather.
Yep.
I think that's about right. And Caesar on the outside of Shrikant Das. Will Shrikant leave him any space, any room? They're going to go side by side. But as they approach turn 10, Charles almost runs into the back of Shrikant. I think there might have been some very slight phantom contact or something along those lines. But Charles is trying to go down the inside, is he? He is not. And the Ferraris are not having a very good time. Smith is out, and he has a lot of penalties, which I'm sure he can remove some of them.
Jishnu not being able to pull away from Harsh. Meanwhile, Basil is right on their tail. I think as soon as DRS is enabled, which should be this lap, is it this lap?
Let's figure it out. We should see it in just a moment. Harsh with the fastest lap. At the moment, Harsh gets a much better run out of turn 2. DRS is enabled, not on this occasion though. He will get it down the Sector 2 DRS zone. And I do not understand what's happened to TBK. TBK has had a moment. He's crashed it just as a switch to him. That could be another safety car. That is another safety car. Oh. Just as I switched to him to find out why he's 6 seconds behind Satvik, he's winged it.
This brings Pratham right back into the race. And so does Satvik.
It's never... Anything's still possible for them. It is lap 19 though, Yash. We still have another 10 laps to go. Even if they pit at the end of this very lap, would you pit on to mediums or softs? Can the softs go the distance?
Let's say the softs. It's going to be a gamble, but for someone like Pratham, I think it might be a shot in the dark, but he should try it. Even Ramen, for that matter.
For Pratham, I believe it's a no-brainer because the Red Bull is very kind on its tires, and he should be able to get to the
So let's see
end
if
even
Jishnu
with
boxes both the Williams. Let's see what they do here.
Jishnu. I think will stay out, and Harsh might box.
Jishnu box. Oh, Jishnu tried dummying Harsh.
He sold the dummy to him. Caesar is boxing. Shrikant is boxing. Charles is staying out. Charles. Oh, Shrikant with a penalty. He might be able to get that removed this time around itself. And Raman in the pit lane as well. Pratham is boxing. And Satvik is going to stay out. So Pratham obviously boxing. Shrikant having to serve his penalty. Thankfully for him, he gets his penalty out the way immediately. And this has been a very chaotic race. Even though we just had 14 drivers start the race, we've had. This is the fourth safety car, right? Yeah, sure, it's the fifth one.
Yeah, the fourth safety car.
So, split strategies for those who've boxed. Raman onto softs, Caesar onto mediums, Shrikant onto softs, and Pratham onto mediums. Pratham not having any trust in those soft tires. I wouldn't blame him. It's quite a few laps to go, quite a number of laps to go once we cross the line as well. Because I think the safety car is going to be in this lap.
Satvik is going to be on an absolute charge here.
He is on 4-lap old tires though, Yash. Do you think he's really going to be on a charge right away? Because I don't.
He should be. I mean, 4-lap old tires, chips. It's better than the one Jishnu and Harsh has. So I mean, in fact, all of the guys in front have. So
I just feel like Satvik has the car underneath him, but not the confidence.
You may be right.
He doesn't seem to be very confident.
Because he'll have to get a move on soon because his teammate Pratham is going to be lightning quick.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer that the Red Bull is going to be quick across all parts of the track. We should see the safety car in. When would we see the safety car in? We could see it in this very lap if Pratham catches up to the line back in time. My apologies. This is Pratham's home race. He wants.
I don't think the safety car is going to be in this lap. Chips, I don't know if that was me or that was you. Ramen left the session. Chips, can you hear me?
Yeah, the race ended for me.
The race ended for you. No, the race is pretty much here. Maybe you can join back from the other.
I think I've desync. Yeah, I've desynced. Because it just told me that I couldn't.
I think you can leave and join back, right?
I did exactly that.
Yeah, I thought for a second my internet got shot, but I was like, no, that's not the case.
Thankfully, that's not the case. I'm very happy that's not the case. Yeah, little issue in mind. I think there's some internet issues and we need to.
I mean, does Raman stay close to you because he also desynced it? I mean, he also left the lobby. Okay, so let's see. We have this thing now. Let's see what happens.
You can send Raman an invite really quick while I try to rejoin.
I think Raman's joined again.
Raman's joined back? Okay, that's perfect. So I should do the same as well. Yep, I have joined back. That's really annoying.
So on board with Harsh.
You take the restart, yes.
Yep. Harsh warming up his tires but picking up all the rubbles where he can. Jishnu being cool, probably looking back in his mirrors, and he is gone. Jishnu's gone. He caught Harsh there. He's definitely caught Harsh there.
But he doesn't have the grip.
Yeah,
He is
he doesn't have the
struggling to
grip.
put the power down. He may have bolted early, but he's really struggling to put the power down. This will come to bite him towards the end of the race. Vishnu.
Hindi. I heard the Hindi.
Yeah, that's a little slip up on my part. Further back, I see Srikanth and Caesar very close. These two are on fresh tires and are gonna go absolutely guns blazing at this stage in the race. They have to. They have no option but to go absolutely all out. Srikanth will be a bit flustered, I think, being stuck behind another car. He doesn't usually perform very well while in dirty air. He does decently when he's in clear air. Caesar is struggling, but I see Raman and Satvik. So I was just going to mention this. Satvik does not have the confidence. He may have the car, but he doesn't have the confidence. This is the Sergio Perez moment that he's having here in the Max Verstappen Red Bull. Raman might go for a dive in on the inside wheelie. He'll go for the switchback, I think. He'll go for the better exit and a better run. Satvik gets a horrible run, and Raman with DRS and a bit of slipstream, he does get past. Satvik is tumbling down the order. He should have boxed. I believe he definitely should have boxed. Almost makes contact with Raman, but
Pratham is not catching Srikanth very quickly either way.
Basil and Harsh. The battle for the lead is getting very spicy. Jishnu is struggling. Jishnu should have boxed, I believe. At least for a beat of a brand new set of mediums, he should have boxed. Basil on the inside. Harsh who's going to come out on top here. I think it's still going to be Jishnu who's going to stay ahead.
Harsh has a moment and they're banging wheels there.
That's very good racing. That's very good racing, I must say. Really close. They're almost like, if you come close to contact but don't have contact, that's a sign of real respect between
drivers. There was good driving there between the two of them.
There's a yellow flag.
They went side by side in a corner where you really can't do that. And there's Vicky right there. And Harsh
has no grip. Harsh has no grip. Zero grip there. He's not even going to get DRS here. If DRS
and you see Raman is coming, steaming down the inside of Basil. He's just going to let him pass. Yeah, that'd be bad. Basil, Raman is going past. Wow.
Harsh as well. But I think Harsh has him covered for now, just for a moment here. Raman will get the better exit and he's going to go down the inside, I think, at turn 12. And will he make the move stick? I think he does. And wow, that is a brilliant series of corners for Raman. The fresh air is really coming clutch for him. And he might be able to get Jishnu, but look at Harsh and Basil. Once again, they're so close. Vicky has to hang back for a little bit longer.
Just look at the grip Basil has on Harsh right now.
And Harsh has nothing to compete with. DRS enabled. This is going to be curtains for Harsh if he can't keep within DRS range of Raman, which I don't think he can.
Again, he has another moment, and Basil also has another moment. Wow, what's happening here? And the sun is slowly coming out at the Albert Park.
Satvik and Pratham are almost level pegging here. Satvik might go for a dive. He does not. He almost ran into the back of his teammate there. At the exit of turn 2.
Look at Raman. He is chasing Jishnu down here. And Jishnu will want a great exit, but Raman has an equally great exit, and with DRS it should be an easy pass for Raman here. DRS will be active any second now, and it is here. Jishnu is probably dumping a lot of battery, but Raman is not going to be shy of making the move into the... Jishnu backs out of that move very smartly there. And it's still a double DRS in Melbourne, so Raman is going to pull away, but we have Harsh and Basil who are right at the back. Harsh is flashing, so he's run out of battery there, but he's not letting go of Jishnu.
Caesar goes for the dive on Wicket Vicky. Caesar goes for the dive on Wicket Vicky, and Pratham gets past Charles Leclerc, and Srikanth is a long
Satvik got past Pratham.
Basil and Harsh straight places. Harsh went deep into the penultimate corner, and he might be overtaken by Caesar here. As Harsh opens and closes his rear wing and then opens it again for some reason. That is going to cost him some straight line speed and possibly a position to Caesar as well. Come turn 1, Caesar breaking around the outside, later on the outside, they make contact. Harsh almost hitting the wall. He does lose the rear end. Thankfully ghosting exists, otherwise that would have been a monumental crash. Charles down the inside of Pratham, going for it, sends it and makes the move stick. Charles is now ahead of the Australian native Pratham, who has not been able to make inroads.
Meanwhile, Jishnu's lost 1.5 seconds behind
Basil.
No, Jishnu's 1.5 behind Raman, so he's going to be out of DRS. Basil should have the DRS on him.
Yeah. Further back, I see it's all straightforward. Let's have a look at Basil and Jishnu going to turn 9 and 10. What can they do? These two are very respectful racers. They, I think, have raced each other a lot as well. They know each other, how they race, how the other one races. And Jishnu covering the inside. Basil will go for a move on the outside. Satvik is out. Is that going to be another safety car? I don't think we can have another safety car. We've hit the limit at this point in time. Satvik is out of the session. Shrikant is a long way back, but Basil could not make the move on Jishnu this time around. Jishnu will not get any TRS once again. When does Basil make the move, Yash?
He has to make it now because Raman is going to go away. Although Raman
Would
is
he
on
make it on
soft
this
tires.
DRS zone or the next one?
No, but he has to right now because Jishnu has no grip. Oh, and the late move from Jishnu. That's a very late move from Jishnu.
No, I just think that the Williams just had too much drag and the closing speed of the Merc was just way higher than the Williams was. I think Basil might hang on for a bit longer. They make contact, this wheel banging, and Basil has lost the place to Caesar in the process. Caesar on those pressure tires will obviously have the advantage. Charles is now right behind, approaching the rear end of the Merc Basil, and Caesar with a
Raman's basically
much
checked out.
exit. And Raman needs to get to the end, finishing line without a penalty though, because they're just at the borderline of 3 seconds behind him. And Raman Stars will fall off by around lap 28, I feel. Caesar's fast, that's a neat move by him. Basil might go for another move this time round on Jishnu. He will have DRS. Jishnu does not have DRS. Will Basil send it? Will Basil wait? What will Basil do? Harsh gets a penalty, and Jishnu still stays ahead for the time being. A lot of drivers with penalties. I must say this is going to be very detrimental to their race. Come the checkered flag. Caesar is gaining time on Raman. So either one of them pick up a penalty, it's going to be curtains for them. Jishnu will get DRS this time around, but Basil is so incredibly close to the back of the Williams.
Jishnu makes another late move.
And
Caesar gets a 3 second.
There you go. I just mentioned that if either one of them gets a penalty, it's going to be curtains for them. Basil trying to make a move on the outside, so Jishnu is absolutely reluctant to let the Merc driver go, almost squeezing him off track. The Jishnu driving the wheels of that Williams, but he has made a colossal mistake. He is out of DRS. Pratham gets another penalty. Basil will have a much better run at the exit of Sector 1, entry of Sector 2, and when this DRS zone, I think it's going to be a straightforward move for Basil, who's going to get ahead of Jishnu. In no time, DRS opens.
But Basil is also out of ERS. And there comes Charles Leclerc down the area outside of 2 cars there. Wow, what a move there. Oh, and he taps
almost
Jishnu.
Makes contact. Yeah, almost make contact with Jishnu. And Basil, what can he do? He's going to fall into the clutches of Pratham now. So Basil's gamble to stay out would have worked if he got past Jishnu, but Jishnu is being Fernando Alonso Hungary 2021 almost. The way he's defending, he is absolutely mighty in his defense, and I think it might be in Caesar's best interest to keep Jishnu in DRS, because there's a very, very fast Charles Leclerc right behind Jishnu, who will not hesitate to overtake Caesar if he manages to get past and stay ahead of the Williams driver. So I think that Caesar might, or I think Caesar just expects them to battle amongst themselves, and that'll help his cause out. Charles will hang back for now. Can Pratham get involved in this? Let's skirmish here. Basil is still there. He's on 13 lap old tires. Charles on 7 lap old soft tires. Although I'll still say they're very equally matched. Charles makes a mistake there at the exit of end of sector 1. Although with the superior car, the Ferrari is obviously superior to the Mercedes. Sorry Yash, sorry for that bit of information. I know that's not what you like to hear.
And on the outside, Jishnu, no match.
That's a straightforward move. Yeah, that's nothing Jishnu could do there. Absolutely powerless to defend.
But Charles Leclerc has a 3 second penalty as well.
Jishnu will go. Charles has 9 seconds. I think.
Sorry, 12 seconds. Yeah, my bad. That's yeah.
He might be able to get 9 of those removed. Oh, there's a bit of phantom contact between Basil and Jishnu, and Pratham going for a move on the inside at the turn before the penultimate corner. I'm not sure which turn that would be. Apologies for that. I'll keep a track of that next time round. Shrikant has had a moment. Shrikant is out of the session. Only 8 cars will finish this race at this point in time. Anything is still possible. Caesar is not far enough ahead of Jishnu, I think, at this point to hold on to that P2, or is he?
No, he's not.
I don't think he is. He's not. So Jishnu, despite all odds, despite struggling immensely on those medium tires and by having to drive that Williams, he is still right there. He could still
But
hang on to P2 at
one
the
more
end of it
fight
all.
with Basil, and he will definitely lose that P2 position.
Although it all matters on the exit of this very specific turn, Jishnu does not like this corner exit in this car, and Basil gets a much better exit with the help of DRS. I think Jishnu will also have DRS, but this is going to be make or break. Basil will go absolutely sending it down the inside, but he doesn't. He has no battery. Jishnu has no battery. Charles has very, very little battery. Basil is so incredibly close. He gets a much better exit, but he makes a mistake at the exit of 10. And with DRS enabled, I do not think that Basil can get past Jishnu at this point in time. And yeah, that's I think about it. We can just give Raman a few seconds of screen time before we come back to this battle, Yash. So I
Yep,
think Caesar got a
Raman
pull.
coming around the
Oh,
last
Basil
corner.
way on the inside of Jishnu. They make contact. He barges his way past the Williams driver and he's made his way past. There's nothing that Jishnu could do there. Basil absolutely sent it. Raman wins the race. Caesar finishes in P2 on track. Charles finishes P3 on track. But where will they finish? In the end, it's going to be Basil finishing P3. Jishnu in P4. Wicket Vicky P5. So Pratham stays P6. Charles drops down to P7. And I cannot remember who finished P8. I've spoken like one of those people who does presence auctions. Wow, in this last lap. That was hectic. That was hectic.
So who's on the podium? I know Raman is.
Ramen, Ramen, Caesar, and
Basil.
I want to say Basil. Yeah, Basil. At
So,
least as of
So
now,
Chips,
that
if
is
you can
the.
very quickly invite these drivers because they've had a
I
very
shall do
hectic
so.
race with the safety cars.
Certainly, certainly, I shall do so. Wow, that's a very hectic race. Let me have a look at the gap between Caesar and Basil. Oh, it's 8 tenths actually. It's a very comfortable gap for Caesar. So you were right. One battle and it would be over. Would not be able to get past Caesar. So
Yep.
I shall invite Ramen. I shall invite Caesar and I have to invite
So
Basil.
going through the grid, we have Raman in P1, Caesar in P2, Basil in P3, making up our podium for tonight in the first race of the realistic division in Hybrid Theory Racing League. Followed by Jishnu, Wicket Wiki, Pratham, Harsh, and Charles being the last finisher on track with Srikanth retiring just before he being classified because he did finish majority of the race. Then we have Satvik, TBK, Smith, Easy Level, and Archit who are our non-finishers. The fastest
And
lap
if you can
going
just go
to
through the
Pratham.
yeah incidents tab as well, Yash. I think that would be good for your user as a steward.
Oh, there is a lot of those.
Wow, Ferrari have had a line of penalties there. Wow, wow, that's great to see. As always, Codemaster is being very
So we
apt
have
with their
P1 and
corner.
P2 here. We're waiting for Basil, is it?
Yes, we are waiting for Basil. We should have him join us in no time.
While he comes, let's start off with our interviews here with Caesar so that we don't waste any much more time here. Caesar,
I
what
think
a
we'll just
hectic race that was for you. And I know, Chip, sorry, but like, it's already 11:05 and people do want to go to sleep. Not everyone's like you to stay
yeah.
up till 3 a.m. But
Sure.
yeah, so Caesar, making it rushing back home from work to get onto the race and then rushing to the podium as you are sending stickers on another channel. But take us through your race and qualifying. Quite a roller coaster of a race. You had some contact here, there. You, I think, dropped down to almost last or second last in the first lap with some contact there. You didn't seem to have damage. And the Alpine is loved car. How was that to drive around the Albert Park track?
Thank you. Congrats to Rahman and Basil for the win and the podium. Yeah, I mean, my race kind of didn't start off well. I mean, the session rather, because I got impeded by an Aston Martin while I was, I think, 4.5 minutes up on my personal best. Failed to move out of the racing line. I ended up crashing. But yeah, I mean, first lap got a tap from behind by Charles, and I was dead last at that point. Obviously, safety cars do help in such scenario, but it was all about keeping on the track as much as possible, especially in the wet conditions when people were very close by. So once that stage was off, and we were on the soft compound of tires, I think it was all about how you manage your race pace and stay within the white lines, which obviously I did not. But in the end, I think P2 is what I can be content with, considering that I'm racing on this track after IRL Australia.
Yeah, it's pretty much sums it up. Good race there, Caesar. Good recovery there. And moving on to Ramen. Ramen, were you expecting this? I mean, coming onto the soft, you were absolutely lightning quick. You made two, three moves on that restart, and then just blasted off into the distance. Take us through your race.
Yeah, so I think quali, I don't think I could have done much better. I was pretty happy with that, but race start was horrible for me. I think I was like, I basically just went straight. The car did not stop in the wets, and I think I was 12th or 13th. Then I think I was the first one to pit for the mediums, me and I think Charles or someone else did it. Or Pratham, sorry. But yeah, I mean, the track was not drying at all. I mean, it took the second safety car, and even then the track, there was still spray. But I think we're just staying out of trouble, like knowing that they are faster, but I don't think we were slow enough that, they would be able to pull out the entire pit gap in front of us. Yeah, just stayed out of trouble. Then the track dried up, and I remained, and I again pit onto another fresh set of mediums because there was no point. I was not going to lose anything. But then something unfortunate happened, which actually turned out to be fortunate, which is I think Pratham got brake tested by someone who was ahead, and I also got brake tested, and the game gave me a 5-second penalty without any damage. And that is what like made me in the next safety car go for softs, because I was like, that would have to. I don't think I was gonna finish on the mediums like with and have enough pace to overtake. So that's what made me go for the softs and serve that penalty. And yeah, worked out after that. Like won that. I remember that curved straight with three passes. So that was pretty good, pretty clean and pretty nice fun racing. Jishnu also, I don't think he had much experience on the
I think we just lost him there. Is everyone else here?
Yes, Basil is here. We can just interview
Well,
him.
let's go on to. I mean, congratulations, Raman, if you're hearing this. Basil, again, you've also had a roller coaster of a race, but you were pretty much in the front over there. It did seem like you would at some point be past the struggling Williams, but that was quite a race and quite some defense from Jishnu there. So take us through your race. And also welcome back to racing after a very long time.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, congrats to
Sure.
the podium runners as well. Um, yeah, that was an eventful race. I feel like the Williams had something against me. They were battling me so hard. But no, it was a lot of fun. Quite a lot of up and downs, but yeah, it was a fun race for sure.
That's good. That's good. Chips, do you have any questions for our podium sitters right now, or whoever is left of the THTRL at least?
No, not much. I think they've driven a very good race. I just want to ask Basil how it was to be battling continuously across the final part of the race. How was it? You were battling so many drivers, but Jishnu was a constant all throughout. And at the penultimate corner, you got him. How was that experience on older tires compared to those around you?
Yeah, it was a welcome back to league racing, if you want to call it that. Um, Yeah, I was pretty much battling the Red Bulls and both Williams. Um, and then I don't know. Yeah, it was. I had to go for the move at the end. Maybe it was a little bit of a push, but I think it was clean enough. But yeah, if he takes it to Stewards, then we'll meet there. Go from there.
All
Yes,
right then.
definitely
So
so.
thank you everyone for joining us. Congratulations, Basil and Caesar, on your podium in a great race. Thank you everyone who joined us through our 4 or 5 safety cars. I forgot how many we had, but an eventful race in Australia. We will be back next week at a track which I do not remember right now. Chips, do you remember which track we
Bahrain.
had? Bahrain. All right, so we will be back at Bahrain for our race next week. So stay tuned. Thank you for joining. Thanks, Chips, for joining me in the comms box.
It's always a pleasure, Yash. Thank you for taking the reins this time around.
All right, then let's go. Good night, lads. See you next week.